Hey guys, it's Dinah here from WhatsNap, and I'm here to show you another amazing video and tutorial on how to use your blue bubbles. Now, you may be surprised when I say that every company is choosing to go from landing pages to building their direct to conversational funnels. Now, this is because the fact that Blue Bubble is going to ensure deliverability, save the cost of messaging, and not to mention build more trust on the Blue Bubble. So let's dive in. Guys, right now I'm going to show you the 3 ways to scale your blue bubbles and why brands are replacing landing pages and going direct to conversation. I call this DTC. So let's show you how you can use this on your funnels to make it work for you, depending on what kind of business you are and what stage you are in business as well. I'm going to give you 3 classical examples of how our clients, influencers, thought leaders are using iMessage and WhatsNap on a daily basis to 10x their revenue and conversion. What has happened as people have stopped trusting funnels as much as they do conversation? There's been a breakdown in trust ultimately. I call this the trust recession. And because of this, people don't want to be spammed and they don't want to be sent into a funnel where they're just going to get a bunch of automated messages for 20 days. And here we see where there's been a trust recession. This trust recession is due to a lot of things. Number one, there's a lot of scams. When people see green bubbles, that's where a lot of smishing happens, a lot of fraudulent activity, and not to mention just overall, people feel like maybe they're talking to AI, so they don't know who to trust. So ultimately, people just want to know who they're talking to, if it's a person on the other side, or ultimately if they're just going to get a bunch of robotic automations for days and days at a time and never be able to exit your funnel. So a lot more trust goes into a conversational channel. Let me give you an example of how we see influencers utilizing iMessage. And this is from a specific influencer that's worked with us that has seen a 10x increase in revenue just by changing one button. Now, you might be wondering how she was able to do this, and it's simple. A lot of influencers are trying to figure out how to drive traffic to a conversational channel, to AI, to a channel where they can communicate better. But what we see common mistakes happening is they send their leads to an email. And this is one of the biggest mistakes you can make because email is one of the slowest communication channels, the lowest opening rate, not to mention just really is difficult to automate and get responses and getting people moving in a conversational way. So what we did specifically for one of our clients is drive them direct to iMessage. And this is a game changer because what can happen now is the AI that's on iMessage can detect what kind of lead it is and then channel them through the appropriate offer depending on what that lead is looking for. So for example, we switched this email button here that you see that's here on the profile, and all we did was we switched it for a text message that goes directly to iMessage. And as you can imagine, an influencer with 500,000 followers, they're getting leads every single day. So if you're an influencer and you're channeling your leads through automations with kind of bricky messaging without the nuance and sophistication of being able to talk to them conversationally and being able to take that lead offline. I call this deplatforming as an influencer. This is crucial for you to do as a acquisition strategy because right now you don't own your leads if you're an influencer with leads and followers on social media. They're borrowed, right? So at any point, if you lose your status, if you lose your followers, God forbid you lose your account, there's no way for you to reach the people that you've earned trust from and that follow you and love you, right? And so for us, this has been an easy transition in being able to increase and boost her revenue overnight, is being able to bring these leads directly to iMessage and turn the conversations into a trust building and relationship opportunity with all the leads coming in and saying goodbye to email for influencers. This should never be the case. You should never be sending your leads to an email funnel. And I would even wager to disagree that you should not even be sending them to DMs because DMs ultimately are where conversations die. It happens all the time with DM conversations. They go in the DMs and they just completely leave forever. And I would even debate if DMs are the best place to send your leads. And if you do, I would recommend sending them directly to an iMessage conversation where they feel like it's a human on the other side. DMs, we see all the time, people just ghosting, people starting a conversation and not finishing it, or just ultimately not having the best conversational style because a lot of people just put spammy automations there, or just like the automatic messages that happen as soon as you follow or comment. So people a lot of times just don't believe they're talking to the person on the other side, so they don't give it as much trust and rapport. So here we see the big change for influencers is changing your buttons in your main profile that's probably driving millions of views each month and converting those views into conversations on iMessage. Let's move on to number 2. So people trust conversations more than landing page. You can debate this all day, but after thousands of case studies, we've seen where people go from having a 70 or 80% bounce rate to getting 70 to 80% of their leads captured on iMessage directly. And this is because they're literally driving their traffic to an iMessage funnel. And the reason why they do this is because they can start talking to the leads immediately. No more waiting for them to fill out a form. No more them bouncing because they don't like the font or the header or your VSL. It's an immediate conversation channel, an immediate conversion. No more chasing down leads that fill out forms a day later, 24 hours later, hours later. This is immediate. As soon as they're interested, they're able to talk to you. So now let me show you how people are running this using their funnel pages from the traditional way to now the new and improved way using an iMessage conversion. And they do this by basically creating a click-through direct to iMessage link. You can do this many ways. You can do this through a hyperlink. You can redirect them using just a quick snippet of code that automatically redirects to iMessage, or you can use a QR code, which our client here has decided to use, our partner, Marissa Romero, which we love so much. And she has an amazing program that's coming up soon for people that want to learn how to scale using low ticket offers and social media content. And here you can literally scan and go directly to iMessage to get the invite and get your ticket and lock in. We love when we see clients utilizing this because we know that people are just happier when they can engage and not fill out a form every single time and wait for a response, wait for a text. This is an immediate conversation that's happening, which will drive a lot more traffic, a lot more fluidity, and a lot more immediate engagement to her brand, giving a lot more opportunity to also answer questions, because a lot of times people don't come to events because they don't know what it is, what they'll be learning. They want to know questions and answers about everything. They want to understand what this event is for. So when you can break down these questions, you can remove any friction and get people to sign up faster. And so of course we have an AI agent that's on the other side that's able to really convert all of these leads and traffic coming in from this landing page that she so lovely put together. And this is a great way for our influencers to be able to leverage this on a daily basis of scanning either with a QR code or a button directly to iMessage. Okay, and another amazing example is if you have masterminds, webinars, things like this that you want to be able to push traffic to your events and get people from your landing page converting to conversations to answer questions, handle objections, maybe answer anything that they might want to know about what they'll be learning, the price of the tickets, if you have different offerings that are paired with these masterminds or webinars. Andrew George does an amazing job showcasing how to use this for your masterminds and his landing page here for his next big mastermind. And this is the #1 secret to building and monetizing an autopilot GoHighLevel SaaS product. He is the founder of SaaSsuite.ai. And as you can see here, you can literally text for free ticket. I love this. And it's going to instantly open up my iMessage here and boom. Hey, Andrew, I want to join the webinar. Can you send me the link to register? I promised I'll show up. So I love the fact that it's a pre-populated message. It's going directly to my iMessage line. If I was on my phone, it would pop it right up on iMessage. So it's a game changer because now he can literally start chatting with anybody that's interested instead of just dragging their feed, answering a form, waiting for them to ghost, waiting to try to chase them down with a phone call or texting them just so that they can see stop and opt down on the other side. So this is an amazing game changer for influencers like Andrew George that are having these webinars and masterminds and driving massive traffic to these opportunities and learning experiences, and being able to really create a fluid experience to be able to ask them after the event how they enjoyed it. So it gives you the whole opportunity of what you can do after the event, during the event, and even before the event, obviously. And so this has been a game changer in terms of people that are able to convert traffic from their landing pages directly to a conversational channel. So if you're one of those people that still want to use a landing page, if you still want to offer value, drive somebody towards what you're doing, invite them to something, having them not fill out a form or talk to a chat bot is really going to improve your metrics, your conversions, and obviously your conversations. And next, I want to talk to you about the amazing way that Meta has secretly allowed us to have direct to conversation leads. Now, again, I talk all the time about the fact that driving leads to a landing page is sometimes not the best strategy when it's cold traffic coming in, new leads that have not been exposed to your brand that don't necessarily trust you yet. So the game changer is here where you can now send the redirect link from an instant form. So I'm going to show you how to hack Meta's algorithm and literally cut your lead costs in half, not to mention being able to get all of your leads instead of just 30 to 40% of them, the ones that actually fill out a form and don't bounce from your landing page. So here it is. It's very simple. So you're going to basically run your standard ad, lead gen ad. Then you're going to do a instant form. The great thing about the improved instant forms is there's conditional logic. So if you want to filter out the leads that you don't want to talk to, you just do conditional logic and you don't let the ones that are not qualified come through your funnel. The ones that are qualified, guess what? When they fill out their information and hit that submit button, there's one last button for the leads to be able to click on. And this is where the magic happens. What you can do is you can create a hyperlink directly to iMessage saying, chat with a consultant now, get your free XYZ here, talk to a consultant for your free estimate, right? Whatever your offer is, you can make it a super enticing click-through action, call to action, where people are going to click there and boom, it redirects them instantly to iMessage. Okay, let me show you specifically our own personal case study as to how sending leads directly to iMessage improved our flow rate of leads, made our lead costs drop down, and literally drive a higher flow of traffic directly to us. So as you can see here, we started off in the beginning of this ad campaign at literally $21.25 per lead. And this obviously was not bad. We were running leads in the United States. These are lead gen forms. But as we improved the conversion API through conversational AI on GoHighLevel, we were able to trigger the copy automatically. I don't want to get into that right now. That's our secret sauce. But of course, if you want more information, I can give it to you. And from here, we were starting pretty high on the ad budget. But as we were sending leads directly to iMessage, we saw something crazy happen. As we continue to refine the copy, make sure that we are only triggering leads that we're converting and getting more of those traffic leads coming in, we were able to optimize the budget, and without spending a single dollar more, something crazy happened. Our leads started to pile and flow in for almost 1/3 of the cost because the conversion API was firing more times, which meant that Andromeda was able to get our ICP flowing to us easier. And so here we see where our lead cost literally got all the way down to $5.29 per lead. Now we're literally running ads in the US where it's very hard to get leads this low, but we were able to drive the cost down through sophisticated ad strategies. But the biggest improvement was sending the leads directly to iMessage. And this, for us, changed the game. Now you may wonder how it changed for us. Well, we saw a 300+% of increase in bookings, which obviously, without spending more, was a game changer. We had 8 times more people respond than before. We got it down to an 8-second response time because the leads were coming in immediately, which means we weren't getting that same laggy system where people didn't know who was texting them. They didn't know they clicked on an ad. They didn't know what your offer was. We had immediate engagement and leads that were ready to book right then and there, talking to our AI on iMessage. And we saw the difference instantly. We had a 4.7 lead velocity, which means that there was less lag time. The speed to lead was incredible. The book time rate was literally half the time that it took before to book the leads. And we were doing it instantly through iMessage and the AI agent that we had there. And because the leads were coming in and instantly being engaged, and the lead velocity was supersonic speed. So because of this, the reply rate shot through the roof. Before, we were getting a 35-45% reply rate, but here it changed to about 92%, which obviously, if you're not even increasing your ad budget and you're spending just as much, you could potentially double your revenue just by getting more responses. So ultimately, the trick here is to stop sending your leads to a landing page that are new traffic, new leads coming into your funnel, and start getting them directly into a messaging conversation on iMessage. Of course, if you're going to send them to A2P conversations and say stop and unsubscribe, that kind of defeats the purpose, right? So you want to make sure you're sending them to an iMessage line where they see a blue bubble, there's more trust, there's more rapport, they're literally talking to you right underneath their mom and dad's conversation on a blue bubble that they see typing simulation, emojis, reactions, voice memos, all of that. It just comes across as more genuine and more of a connection. And I want to give you one more final tip. And this is for the people out there that love to network, that love to go to events, but always get stuck with, oh, who did I meet at that event? oh, I forgot that person's number. Oh, I never ended up booking a time with that person that was so great at that event. Well, guess what? This is for you. How to use your blue bubbles when you're going to events, meeting and networking with people in person, and how to make this convert at a supersonic speed for you as well. And this is simple. All you're going to do is you're going to literally take the iMessage line, convert it to a link, and through this link, you're going to change it to a QR code. You can do this in about 30 seconds. Just ask GPT to do this for you. And from here, you change your iPhone background to a QR code. So whenever you're in the middle of speaking with somebody at an event, or if you want to print this out and put it on a business card, put it on your placard, whatever you like to do. But we've seen people rave about this method because literally, as soon as they scan this QR code, they program their AI agent on GoHighLevel or wherever, and they say, listen, I'm going to an event. It's the GoHighLevel Summit, or it's, whatever it is. And they can literally tell the agent, listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to book all the people that are coming in and get them my calendar so I can book with them after this week is over. And literally, the AI agent on iMessage is converting for them while they're still at the event, doing what humans do, connecting with people. And the AI on iMessage is doing all the heavy lifting, engaging with them as soon as they step away and getting them on their calendar. So they don't have to worry about who they met, the context of the conversation, anything. It's literally all saved, and the conversation starts immediately, not a week later for the person to forget, who they were speaking with about this and that. And it's literally knows the objective, knows the mission, and is able to build trust because they see that person coming in on iMessage, right? So this is a great hack. Instead of, sending somebody just a business card with your contact information, that gets saved, that gets forgotten, and it collects dust, right? But what really happens is when you take the initiative to create a conversational moment on iMessage, that people can start engaging with you immediately before they forget who they met, what kind of deal they talked about at that event. And so you can actually get ROI in these events you go to, right? You don't want to go to a bunch of events and never get ROI. I know I personally can attest to this because without this method, I literally am just a complete disorganized mess when it comes to going to events and just having to text people afterwards. It's super painful. Moral of the message here, guys, is that funnels are kind of over, at least in the traditional sense. Bringing them to a funnel of iMessage is the ultimate hack, and it will change the game for you. It'll increase and uplift your revenue because whenever you increase the conversations, you will increase the cash. So guys, if you have any more questions, you should see my link below so we can book a time to chat together so we can get you on the Blue Bubble conversion kit. Let's go, guys. Cheers.